So today might actually be the day that I fucking lost my mind. I can't do anything past what I'm about to teach you today. Okay? Like I can't if you don't get past today, day one, then there's no point. Right? There's no point to the rest of whatever it is I say, period. Okay? So today we're in session, and I know somebody's gonna troll that this isn't centered, and I'm using my AirPods for audio, and you can see the ring light here and the light here. I don't give a shit. Okay? Literally, I just want a whiteboard, and this is the easiest way to do this. Okay, so check this out. Class is in session. We have day one. All right? Day one. Now, here's the thing. There's money, like business, that, like that's commerce. Money, right? And then there's time, okay? And I've had to change my business pitch. I've had to change the onboarding questions. I've had to modify so many things because of what I'm about to share with you today. The idea that time is not the most precious resource, or is, unrenewable, non-renewable resource, and also that it outvalues money is beyond me. The comprehension of that is beyond me. That someone can align against that. Okay? Now, where the argument will come is because they look at retirement or less work later, right? And so that means that if you work hard, cashing in your time over here, then when you finish whatever it is you do, or when you slow down whatever it is you do, when you only have time, now you have time and money, but you probably cashed in like an extreme amount of time for that money so that you can have money and time at a certain point in your life going forward, whether it's in your 50s, 60s, or whatever, okay? Here's the problem. Like, you don't have to do that right now. Like, starting right now, you can change that idea by aligning with efficiency, which I hate that word, but time-based formulas that are inside software, and why automation is so popular, right? Because it's obviously instantaneous and you don't have to do it, right? So if time, I literally have to ask this now. My first question, is time more valuable than money? And if the answer is no, then there's no more. That's it. I'm done. I'm out. I walk. See ya. Because everything else doesn't work if that's your answer. Nothing in terms of like building the most efficient business possible applies to you, because you're willing to sacrifice time all over the place. Like you'll bleed fucking time everywhere, right? And not even, it won't even be part of whatever it is that I'm talking about at all. You'll be like, you won't even be, maybe you're fazed by it. You probably are fazed by it, but you will act as a business owner and state that, well, because the business it's my business, it's my baby, and then therefore, even if I equated myself to $1,000 an hour. So here's some really cool numbers. We're gonna play a game here, okay? Now, first I'm gonna go generally over some principles, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you about myself. So then what I can do is I can explain to you why I 100% fucking know that time is more valuable than money, okay? And then maybe by the end of this, I don't know, 20 minutes, let's try to keep it under 20 minutes. I'm already at 4. That someone, like, this will be a really powerful video, okay? So let's go and let's add some constants in here. Let's make something up here, okay? So let's go 100 years, okay? Now, why would I say 100 years? Well, it's because you're not going to probably live past that, okay? Like literally, that's the let's just assume that's the max, okay? We'll assume that you're going to be a centurion. Whatever. We'll go 100 years, your max lifespan, okay? The amount of time you have on this mortal plane. I don't know how many other times you want me to say this. And I also like to say that that's 100 years. Like 90 is not 30. Right? So they're not comparable. So like it does kind of change as you get older. So some of the things you want to do with your time could change with age. All right? Okay? So that's that. Now, let's do another one. Let's just throw out some numbers there. Like, what do you think you're worth per hour? And now here's why I have to say this out loud. I don't think a lot of people calculate that. They do maybe in proposals, but what happens is if something breaches this optimized proposal or breaches this efficiency proposal, then they're the one eating that time, right? So like, let's say $1,000 an hour. Okay, let's go with $1,000 an hour. Now let's break this down again, okay? How many hours do you want to work a day, right? And I'm thinking like, let's say you're starting, so this is a good formula to do like a starting, relationship with time, because obviously you don't understand, so we have to go that general. So let's go with $1,000 an hour. So let's say like, now let's apply the 9 to 5, right? Because for the most part, I understand growing your business and I understand all the pain and the time it takes to get to a certain point. But that's when you cash in the most powerful amounts of your time quickly and efficiently to build the most effective, efficient, best business, or I like to call the perfect business for you. Or it's your business. It's fucking your business. So figure this stuff out, right? You don't have to bleed time everywhere, right? This is why these technologies exist. Oh, I'm already in the technology thing. We're not there yet. We still have to be here, okay? We still have to be here. So 9 to 5, so that would be like an 8-hour day, right? So let's say, so that means that's $8,000 a day. That's you. This is a fictitious you. But like, that's a number you can put into a formula, okay? So if you look at this and you think, okay, so $8,000 in a day, now minus like when I'm not working, etc. Yes, of course there's all that stuff, but we just have to be very, loose with this idea because it's so simple, but I have to get it across to everybody, okay? Remember, my first question, if I'm putting any business that wants to modernize at all through like the scope or the review or the formula, the first question I ask is like, is time more valuable than money? Because what's the point? What's the point of even with automation, right? Just throw people at it. Throw people and time at everything. Buy people's time and throw it at everything. That's how it used to be done, no matter if it was like the deliverable was service or product, before a lot of technology came along, right? So, but now, if I'm telling you in 2021, in September 2021, going forward, the amount, that's why like the robots are coming, obviously. I mean, you see it all the time. So you can imagine meeting in the middle, right? If you're meeting in the middle and you think where it's gonna go, and there will always be that argument that people say where they're like, well, my job requires physical this and, or my job requires creative this. And I get it. Yeah, we're not there yet. However, like look at how far we've come, right? So you can imagine administrative minutia, like things that would be instead of printing something out, things that would be putting a piece of data in one cell in a database, doing something with it and putting it in another database instantaneously, automatically. Like you would think, obviously, that's pre-robot, right? It is. It's like right now. So you got to look at like administration, right? As what I'm going to call for you as like whatever work you do, we're going to call that business work. Okay? So we're going to call it, and I like to just put so business work. Okay? Which is probably like anything in the 9 to 5, whatever it is, in your quote unquote 8 7, 8 hours a day at $1,000 an hour, right? So your business work, that's like your container. So if we got like a container, right, we're gonna go like this, okay? And we're gonna put your 9 to 5 in here, right? This is your business work inside this container. Like I don't even know how to get even simpler, but this is how I have to do it, okay? So now that you know that's business work, let's start adding more containers, okay? Because your day isn't just work, right? Your day has other things. So I'm going to call another container, probably, that might be a little bit me already because I'm going with my version. We're going to go here and we're going to call this one like family time, okay? All right? There's another container, we'll call it family time. And by the way, this is all going to be one day of your mortal life of these, okay? 100 of these, we're going to go day 1, okay, at $1,000 an hour. This is your business work time, also inclusive your family time, also inclusive what we will call another container that I like to consider like probably where you want to be if you're a business owner. And by the way, when I say business owner, I mean it. I'm not saying business owner, okay? So this would be like work on business. Let's say work on business, okay? Work on business. Now remember, this is all still the same day of your limited 100, okay? Now, we're going to add another one here. This is kind of, you know, we're going to be dynamic here, but I like to call it the other ventures, okay? Because we're going to think like business owners, okay? That means multi-businesses, owning multiple ventures, okay? So this would be other ventures, right? Because we're going to imagine that this is restricted to a single business or maybe, you know, 2 or 3, but maybe this is your first business. This is how you think of it. Business owner, because you can own multiple businesses, because that's how you work with bandwidth. We're not even going to go there. Right? And then I'd like to add another one, which is basically, could be in here, could be in family time. I call it personal time. Okay? Personal time. Now, if this is all in one day, okay, I hope this is like drilling, like a drill in someone's head. Like that's how I have to do this. I have to drill this into people's heads or else they won't understand why, when I get to what I'm going to say, is the reason why you would want to work with me or the automated method or whatever. Because if you're not where we're going to go, then you got room to like figure out how to save time to put it other places. Right? So that you're not bleeding time all over the place. Just like a ship with holes all in it. Just time just bleed. I could do this all day. All right? So let's imagine you got your business work, you got your family time, you got your work on your business, right? You got your other ventures and you got your personal time. Let's focus on this for a little second here, okay? Working on the business, not in the business. Wow, that's interesting. This is where you can apply time inside the same day. You can apply time inside the same day, in business work. But you got to cash that out, right? You got to cash in, cash out all these times all over the place. And so like the way that I look at it is that this is really should be your focus, okay? Really should. Like maybe in the beginning you start here, you start in your like business work, but once you get to this, and I mean you could start the business without being here because people build businesses without working in them all the time, okay? So basically I'm making this formula so obvious to you so that you can see how it works, all right? Because you can't go past like a 24-hour day, okay? That's like a day. One day is 24 hours. So where are you going to put this luxurious time of 24 of these hours in your finite 100 years? Here. Where are you going to put it? Right? Where are you going to put it? Are you going to break it apart? You got sleep in here too. You got another container here where you just call it sleep, okay? This is your sleep container over here. But if you want to look at all of this as like a one function, you can now understand why this, okay, this is your target, okay? This is where you want to, like, this is a bullseye, okay? Because inside there is where you should put the most efficient mechanics ever to run your business. Because that time is, if you can find a better way to do it, if there is a better way to do it, you get to use your hours better. More, you can distribute more hours into these containers. So, like, why wouldn't you adjust what I would consider the operations of the business, all of the business operations, to the most efficient, optimized, automatic, real-time dashboard, analytics, insights, I don't care, system. Period. Because, like, that's like what we could adjust immediately to fix, like, your time problem. All that. And then let's say that, imagine you could have this be like 1 hour of your day. 1 hour as a business owner. 1 goddamn hour out of 24 to run the business, right? And then, like, I mean, you might even get that down to a half an hour. And then you can have that half an hour and you can work and split it up to work on the business. Now you have like maybe an hour or two. Like in this, you could strategize, insert your vision, come up with new products, new services, like the cool stuff, the visionary stuff, the reason why you're in business is not to work. Like you understand that you have to work. I get that. But the idea of owning your own business and then wanting to do stuff that you don't eventually graduate away from, that you could, to engineer yourself out of your own business is insane. It's insane. This is fun. This is fun. Yes, maybe some people do find some of this fun and entertaining. Yes, I do. But I think that probably the reason why they deny anything past, an onboarding questionnaire from, like, say, myself or my company is because they actually like being here, okay? They don't like being here. They don't like being here or see a need for here. They don't have any other ventures, so why have any time here? And then personal time, fuck it. Like, why not? I'm just gonna bleed the shit out of my day, where business work becomes all of it, and then therefore I don't have any time at all for anything else. Right? Do I have everybody now? I hope so. Because I lost my mind today. I can't do this anymore. It just doesn't make any sense. Time is greater than money, okay? Like, you can't, like, this will make money, yes, but don't cash in unnecessarily. So that's why let's make the business the best business possible. All of this right here, and then you can concentrate your time on other things. Like, Jesus Christ, right? That's like how this makes so much sense, hopefully, to everybody, right? And in terms of where I can go and say where I can make this, like, I can project on this, is like, well, I'm recently married and I have a daughter, Aurora, and I love spending time with her. That's family time, right? Like, there's so many ways you can change this, like, especially since it can carry over to the next day. So, like, say you want to travel, okay? Well, if the business only demands 1 hour of this, doesn't matter what fucking time zone you're in, you'll find that hour where you are, and then that day, that's what you do at that hour, whatever it is. I don't know, something, okay? And then you have the rest of the day for all of, like, this, if that's what it is, if you're traveling or doing something that isn't business work, right? It carries over. So when I get into these conversations, I always try to explain what I just did here, okay, as fast as possible, because it's a wall, right? You're not going to get through. So when we start talking about, choosing the proper workflow, killing off processes that are unnecessary, replacing technologies with things that are better, okay? Like outsourcing, which doesn't have to be outsourcing. It could be what I like to call a remote department, which is another company that just, supervises that one corporate area of your business, which bookkeepers have done it forever, cloud bookkeeping. That was like the first easiest transition with the cloud, I'm sure. And then everybody else caught on. There's cloud services there's cloud supervised services for every software as a service out there, okay? So you can imagine that the way you get more time is by focusing on what we can change right now. So best ecosystem, best apps, native integration, all the optimization, all the efficiency, all the automation, okay? And if you don't want to do it, okay, here's the best part. Find somebody that will, and make sure that they're far more proficient in that talent or that skill than you are. That's what hiring is, right? That's what hiring is. And in my case, I would like to say that for the most part, a lot of these responsibilities can be like remote departments. And that's not a pitch, that's just, it's obvious. And I can go down that rabbit hole really quick. I'm at 21 minutes, but I'm gonna go do that. So the reason why remote departments make sense is because of the proficiency of each corporate area in your business. So if you got corporate areas here, now you also have to think about the corporate areas here, right? Because working on the business, whether it's marketing, whether it's finance, modern marketing, modern finance, modern HR, modern legal, modern social, whatever, I don't care. The strategy here is gonna require your time. Maybe you're not so proficient in some of these things, and you hire a consultant, okay? That could be a remote department. Also, in here, when you're looking at your operations and all the the mechanics of how everything does connect and work, your whole business ecosystem, right? Make it as efficient as fucking possible, and then subcontract the supervised areas in here, your app stack, each one of the apps with a remote department, right? That's where the proficiency comes in, because this is where everybody is like a self-proclaimed master of their own unsupervised Franken system, which is like everybody. Most small and medium businesses have somewhat a cloud stack or a tech stack or an app stack. I say app stack because they're applications, right? Let's just say tabs in Google Chrome, whatever, right? Most do. The chances of them knowing and being expert, proficient in all of those apps is like zero, right? Probably more beginner, but that's fine. That's what an owner should have, because you're only going to be looking at the most important data in a dashboard, which we can't get to until you concentrate on building the most optimized ecosystem with the best apps right here, okay? This is kind of looks like a day one kind of thing. I wonder what day two is going to look like.